Charli James is with me to go a little deeper into this story. And Charli, I said at the top, Mike Johnson could lose his job because of what he's trying to do here. So why is he pushing this forward?
That's right, Nadia. So Johnson has been Speaker of the House for less than 6 months, and he's already facing intense pressure from far-right members of the Republican Party who are threatening to oust him. Now, they're mad that Johnson has worked with Democrats on a number of measures, including funding to keep the government open, reauthorizing a controversial surveillance bill that just happened earlier this week, and now bringing the Ukraine aid bill to the floor against the wishes of his majority. Now, these are all things that Johnson would have voted against back when he was a rank-and-file congressman who only represented his one district in Louisiana. But now he's Speaker of the House. He's second in line to the presidency behind the vice president. He's in charge of keeping the whole House running. And he has said that the classified intelligence briefings that he now gets as part of his job have been sobering for him. So all of these elements appear to have added up to a bit of a change in his decision-making process as Speaker. Now, Johnson insists he's not thinking about the threats to his job, but he's bringing these foreign aid bills to the floor because it's the right thing to do.
And explain to us then how Republicans could oust him from that job as the Speaker.
Right. So two hardline Republican members, one of whom is Marjorie Taylor Greene that we saw in that report earlier, they are threatening to call a vote to oust him if he puts the Ukraine bill on the floor. Now, they would do this using what's called a motion to vacate. It's similar to a no confidence vote. The current rules allow for just one Republican member to introduce this motion, which would then put Johnson's speakership up to a vote. This is the same way that Johnson's predecessor, Kevin McCarthy, he lost his job back in October. Now, because the Republican majority in the House is super slim, if his job was put to a vote, it becomes a question of what Democrats would do. It's possible that Democrats could decide to save him by voting in his favor. And we have heard some Democrats say that they would consider that if he brings the Ukraine bill up for a vote. The problem with that scenario, Nadia, is that he then loses legitimacy with Republicans because he's only Speaker because Democrats saved him. So these next few days are critical for Johnson. If he can get Republicans in line, it's possible that he could save his job, but the speakership is really hanging on by a thread right now.
So the next few days critical for Johnson himself. They're also critical, obviously, for these aid packages. How likely, in your analysis, are they to pass and get through the House?
Right. So like I said, Republicans have a razor-thin majority. In fact, tomorrow, another Republican is resigning, so it becomes a just one-seat majority. This means that passing these bills requires Democratic support as well, getting Democrats on board. Now, Johnson is also putting up a fourth bill alongside these three aid bills for Taiwan, Israel, and Ukraine. It would seize Russian assets, it would force the sale of TikTok, and it would impose sanctions on Iran. But Republicans really want a U.S.-Mexico border security measure in exchange for passing any kind of foreign aid bills. And that's not going to happen this time. So as it stands, enough Republican members have already said that they're against these bills, that bipartisan support is essential to getting them passed. But if the House is able to pass it, and that's a big if, it could happen as early as Saturday. It would then go to the Senate, where it's expected to breeze through because the Senate is controlled by Democrats. And then President Biden has already said he will sign it.
All right, it's going to be an interesting couple of days. We'll see what happens. Thank you very much indeed, Charli James, for that reporting.
Thank you.